For over 2 decades, Norm Abram was the quiet force behind one of America's most beloved DIY shows, the new Yankee Workshop. With his plaid shirts, calm voice, and unmatched woodworking skills, Norm wasn't just a television host, he was a trusted friend in the garage or basement of millions of weekend warriors. But then, almost without warning, he disappeared from our screens. No drama. No big farewell. Just, gone. So what really happened to Norm Abram? Let's take a closer look at the man behind the sawdust, and why he chose to step away from the spotlight. The rise of a DIY legend. When the new Yankee Workshop debuted in 1989, it was unlike anything else on television. Hosted by the unassuming but incredibly talented Norm Abram, the show didn't rely on flashy editing or gimmicks. Instead, it was all about skill, passion, and teaching people how to build beautiful things with their own 2 hands. Norm, already known from his work on This Old House, quickly became a household name in the world of home improvement. Week after week, viewers tuned in to watch him build everything from elegant dining tables to intricate armoires, all while explaining every cut, joint, and finish with a clarity that made even the most complicated projects seem possible. With his signature safety glasses, gentle demeanor, and encyclopedic knowledge of woodworking, Norm wasn't just admired, he was revered. A quiet goodbye. After 21 seasons and over 200 episodes, the new Yankee Workshop quietly ended in 2009. There was no grand send-off. No final. Build. Just a simple announcement that the show was wrapping up production. And just like that, Norm Abram was gone from the airwaves. Fans were stunned. Why would someone at the top of his game just walk away? The real reason Norm stepped back. Here's the truth. Norm Abram didn't vanish because of scandal or health problems. The reason was much simpler and much more human. After decades of constant filming, building, and working on tight production schedules, Norm was simply ready to slow down. By the time the new Yankee Workshop ended, Norm had been on TV for over 30 years, between that show and This Old House. He once mentioned in interviews that the physical demands of building full-sized furniture week after week were starting to take a toll. And frankly, he missed the quiet life. The real joy for Norm wasn't the fame, it was the craft. He wanted to get back to working in his shop without cameras in his face and scripts in his hand. So, he did something incredibly rare in the world of television. He walked away on his own terms. Where is he now? Today, Norm Abram is living a peaceful and private life. He's still doing what he loves, woodworking, but away from the spotlight. He no longer appears regularly on TV, but he's far from idle. Sources close to him say he continues to take on personal projects, enjoy his family life, and spend time in the woodshop he built for himself, a haven where he can create without deadlines or distractions. And here's something that might surprise you: Norm never saw himself as a celebrity. Despite his massive fan base and impact on American DIY culture, he always viewed himself as a simple carpenter who got lucky. That humility is exactly what made people fall in love with him in the first place. His legacy lives on. Norm Abram didn't just host a show, he inspired a generation. He made craftsmanship cool again. He showed viewers that quality work takes time, patience, and passion. And he made it okay to make mistakes, as long as you learned from them. The tools he used on the new Yankee Workshop became iconic. His attention to detail was unmatched. And his commitment to safety and craftsmanship set a new standard in the DIY world. Even though he stepped out of the spotlight, his influence is everywhere. Thousands of YouTube woodworkers credit Norm as their inspiration. Countless furniture makers learned dovetail joints and mortise and tenon techniques by watching his calm, methodical tutorials. A farewell fit for a legend. In 2022, This Old House honored Norm Abram with a well-deserved tribute special called The House That Norm Built. It was a rare moment where the quiet carpenter accepted the spotlight once more, as friends, fans, and colleagues paid tribute to the legacy he left behind. It was clear that Norm didn't just teach people how to build furniture, he helped them build confidence, patience, and pride in their own work. Final thoughts: Norm Abram didn't vanish because of scandal. He didn't quit because he was bitter. He simply knew when it was time to step away and enjoy the life he'd built with his own 2 hands, and maybe that's the greatest lesson he ever gave us, knowing when to finish the project and sit back to admire the work that he may be out of the spotlight. But to millions, Norm Abram will always be the man in the plaid shirt who made the impossible seem simple, one piece of wood at a time.